Good evening, my friends. Have you ever woken up feeling like you didn't sleep at all? You know the feeling. Your body feels heavy, your mind is foggy, and no matter how much coffee you drink, you just can't shake that sluggishness. If this sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone. As we age, our sleep patterns change, and what worked for us in our 30s or 40s might not cut it anymore. But here's the good news. Small adjustments can make a huge difference in how rested and energized you feel every day. Today we're going to talk about something that affects so many of us but doesn't get nearly enough attention: sleep mistakes. Specifically, I want to share with you 4 common sleep mistakes people over 60 tend to make, and more importantly, how to fix them starting tonight. Because let's face it, life is too short to spend your days dragging yourself through fatigue. You deserve to wake up refreshed, ready to tackle whatever comes your way. Before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others discover these tips too. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. We're building a community here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Alright, let's start with the first mistake. One that might surprise you because it's so easy to overlook. It's staying in bed when you can't fall asleep. Now, I know what you're thinking. But isn't the whole point of being in bed to sleep? Yes, absolutely. But there's a catch. When you lie there tossing and turning for more than 20 minutes, your brain starts associating your bed with frustration instead of rest. Over time, this makes it even harder to drift off. Here's what you should do instead. Get out of bed. I'm not saying you need to turn on all the lights and start cleaning the house. Far from it. Instead, find a quiet activity that relaxes you without screens. Maybe it's reading a book by dim light, doing some gentle stretches, or even listening to calming music. The key is to break the cycle of stress and give your mind a chance to reset. Once you start feeling drowsy again, head back to bed. This little trick has helped countless people retrain their brains to see bedtime as a peaceful sanctuary rather than a source of anxiety. Now, let's move on to the second mistake: ignoring your body's natural rhythm. Our bodies thrive on consistency, especially as we get older. Think about it. If you've been waking up at the same time for years, chances are your internal clock is pretty set in its ways. But here's where things go wrong. Many of us throw that rhythm off balance by going to bed at wildly different times or sleeping in on weekends. While it might seem harmless, those inconsistencies can wreak havoc on your sleep quality. The solution? Stick to a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I know it sounds strict, but hear me out. When you maintain a consistent routine, your body knows exactly when to wind down and when to gear up. Over time, you'll find yourself falling asleep faster and waking up more naturally without needing multiple alarms or groggy mornings. Plus, having a predictable schedule gives structure to your day, which can be incredibly comforting as we navigate the changes that come with aging. One quick tip here: if you find it hard to stick to a bedtime, create a pre-sleep ritual. This could be anything from sipping herbal tea to writing in a journal, or practicing deep breathing exercises. These small rituals signal to your brain that it's time to unwind, making it easier to ease into sleep mode. These first 2 mistakes might seem simple, but they're powerful. By getting out of bed when you're restless and sticking to a consistent sleep schedule, you're setting yourself up for success. And speaking of success, let's keep the momentum going. Next, we'll explore another common pitfall, one that involves late-night habits you might not even realize are sabotaging your rest. Stay tuned, because this one hits close to home for a lot of us. Alright, let's talk about the third mistake, one that I'm willing to bet most of us have been guilty of at some point. It's indulging in late-night snacks or heavy meals right before bed. Now, I'm not here to tell you to give up your favorite treats altogether. We all deserve a little comfort food now and then. But eating too close to bedtime can really throw off your sleep. And not just because of heartburn or indigestion. When you eat a big meal or something sugary late at night, your body has to work overtime to digest it. That means your metabolism is still running on high gear when it should be winding down for rest. This can lead to restless nights, frequent awakenings, and even nightmares for some people. Plus, if you're reaching for salty snacks or caffeine-laden desserts, you're setting yourself up for dehydration or an energy spike that makes falling asleep nearly impossible. So, what's the fix? Give yourself a cutoff time for eating, ideally 2 to 3 hours before bed. If you're someone who gets hungry later in the evening, that's okay. Just opt for lighter, sleep-friendly snacks like a small handful of almonds, a slice of turkey, or a banana. These foods are easy on your system and won't disrupt your rest. And while we're on the subject of hydration, make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day, but taper off in the evening to avoid those middle-of-the-night bathroom trips. Trust me, your bladder will thank you. Now, let's shift gears a bit and tackle the fourth mistake, one that might surprise you because it's so ingrained in modern life. It's using screens right before bed. Whether it's watching TV, scrolling through your phone, or checking emails on your tablet, those glowing devices are doing more harm than good when it comes to sleep. The blue light they emit tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, which suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. But here's the thing, it's not just about the light. Engaging with stimulating content right before bed keeps your mind active and alert. Even something as simple as reading the news or responding to messages can rev up your thoughts and make it harder to relax. I'll admit, I used to be guilty of this myself. There were nights when I'd tell myself, just one more email, only to realize an hour had passed and I was wide awake. The solution? Create a tech-free buffer zone before bed. Aim for at least 30 minutes, though an hour is even better. Use that time to disconnect from screens and focus on calming activities instead. Maybe it's journaling about your day, practicing gratitude, or simply sitting quietly and reflecting. If you absolutely must use a device, for example, if you're reading an ebook, switch it to nighttime mode or invest in blue light blocking glasses. These small changes can help signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. By addressing these habits, late night eating and screen use, you're taking huge steps toward improving your sleep quality. And remember, none of this requires drastic lifestyle changes. It's all about making mindful choices that support your body's natural rhythms. You've already learned how getting out of bed when you're restless and sticking to a consistent schedule can set the stage for better rest. Adding these strategies into the mix will only amplify the benefits. Speaking of amplifying benefits, there's one final piece of the puzzle I want to share with you, one that ties everything together and ensures you're creating the best possible environment for sleep. Let's keep going, because this last tip might just be the game changer you've been looking for. Before we get to that, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tips already? Or maybe you've noticed other habits that affect your sleep. Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and your insights could help others in our community. And if you're finding value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on practical advice tailored just for you. We're building something special here, and your support means the world. Now, let's dive into that final tip. All right, let's wrap this up with the final piece of the puzzle, one that might seem obvious but is often overlooked. It's creating the right sleep environment. Think about it. Your bedroom is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place where you can fully relax and recharge. But if your space isn't optimized for rest, it could be sabotaging your efforts without you even realizing it. One of the biggest culprits here is noise and light. Whether it's streetlights streaming through your window or the hum of traffic outside, these distractions can keep your brain on high alert instead of allowing it to drift into deep sleep. And let's not forget temperature. Being too hot or too cold can make it nearly impossible to get comfortable. I remember when I first started paying attention to my sleep environment. I realized my room was cluttered, the curtains were thin, and my mattress wasn't as supportive as it used to be. Once I made some changes, the difference was night and day, literally. So, what's the fix? Start by making your bedroom as dark, quiet, and cool as possible. Blackout curtains are a game changer if you live in a well-lit area, and a white noise machine or earplugs can block out unwanted sounds. As for temperature, aim for somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the sweet spot for most people. And don't underestimate the power of a good mattress and pillows. If yours are more than 8 to 10 years old, it might be time for an upgrade. Trust me, investing in your comfort pays off in spades when it comes to sleep quality. Another tip: declutter your space. A messy room can create mental chaos, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Take a few minutes each day to tidy up and keep electronics like TVs and laptops out of the bedroom altogether. This helps reinforce the idea that your bedroom is for rest, not work or entertainment. Over time, your brain will start associating the space with calmness and relaxation, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Now, let's take a step back and recap what we've covered today. First, we talked about getting out of bed when you can't fall asleep. It's all about breaking the cycle of frustration and retraining your brain to see your bed as a place of rest. Then, we discussed the importance of sticking to a consistent sleep schedule and creating a calming pre-sleep ritual to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. From there, we tackled late-night eating and screen use, two habits that can wreak havoc on your sleep if left unchecked. Finally, we explored how optimizing your sleep environment can tie everything together and give you the best chance at waking up refreshed and ready to take on the day. The beauty of these tips is that they're simple, yet incredibly effective. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with 1 or 2 changes and build from there. Remember, small adjustments add up over time, and consistency is key. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every little step you take toward better sleep is a step toward feeling more energized, focused, and happy. I truly believe that improving your sleep can transform your life in ways you might not expect. When you're well rested, everything else feels easier. Your mood improves, your relationships flourish, and you have the energy to pursue the things that bring you joy. So, I encourage you to try these strategies tonight. Experiment with them, tweak them to fit your lifestyle, and see what works best for you. And once you do, come back to the comments and let us know how it goes. Your experience might inspire someone else who's struggling with the same challenges. Before we wrap up, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch, for being open to learning, and for prioritizing your health and happiness. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button and share it with a friend or family member who might benefit from these tips. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you can join our growing community of seniors who are committed to living their best lives. Together, we're proving that age is just a number. It's how you feel and live that really matters. As we close out today's conversation, I'll leave you with this thought. Every night is a new opportunity to reset, recharge, and wake up feeling like the best version of yourself. You deserve that. You've worked hard, and now it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, tonight as you settle into bed, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and dream about all the possibilities ahead. Sweet dreams, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video.